For 50 years, Millie Nash has been a Burlington Town Meeting member. I stopped by Nash's house to reminisce all the changes she has seen since taking her seat in 1973.
I had not lived in Burlington that long. It was 1973. My next door neighbor said, "We need to have representation in town meeting. You should be it, Millie." And I said, "But I'm new in town. I have kids. I don't know anybody." And she said, "Well, don't worry about that. My kids will babysit your kids, and I will run your campaign. And all you have to remember is don't vote for yourself because you've never voted for a winner." And here I am 50 years later. But I love that story because she and I were on the opposite side of almost every political issue, but we got along. We remained in touch even though they had lived in California for the last 40 years. And I think that is so what's missing today in politics, where one side and the other just can't seem to talk together or remain friendly.
Millie has seen and listened to a variety of different moderators over the years.
There was Bob Gordon, and then there was Tom Murphy, who died, I think, just recently. And I think then after that, there may have been a few others. I remember Phil Gallagher, and he and I were sometimes friends and sometimes not so friendly. And then Sally Willard, who was the first woman to be elected. And I think Charlie Murphy was for a short time moderator. And there may have been some others. And then there's Bill Byer. I think he's doing a good job, and I don't envy him because I think he is about as familiar with the technology as I am, and to have to cope through COVID.
Millie praised Town Clerk Amy Warfield for her efforts in putting together the first ever outside town meeting in the spring of 2020.
She had planned for everything. When we came into town meeting, they gave us bags, a bug repellent, had a bottle of water, had all the kinds of things. And poor Amy looked like she was just worn out from making this happen, to the point that I afterwards phoned her to tell her what a good job she had done, and to tell her that I had half hoped it might rain a little bit at 8:30 because I was sure she had a contingency plan if we knew what it was. So
Millie encouraged everyone to get involved in town government.
It's really important in towns that the people pay attention to the government, and when something isn't right, they do something about it, because we all can make a difference. And our Dirty Dozen case always gave me the feeling that I lose a lot of cases, but when you speak up about things that aren't right, even when you lose, the people who are doing the thing that you wish they weren't doing are a little bit more circumspect than they would be if nobody was paying attention.
Millie's term is set to expire in the spring of 24. She says she is considering re-election.
I am not getting any younger, but I would miss it, and I realize that sometimes we have trouble filling the seats. So if anybody who's interested would be glad to replace me, I might retire. But since I can walk to town meeting at the high school, I am afraid I might run for re-election yet again.
From Millie Nash's porch, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS.